everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a video review of my Sony DCR VX2000. I got the idea from someone on YouTube, Steven115, and yeah, hopefully it'll be helpful to those who are looking to buy a camera. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, so I'll start off by saying some of the pros and cons, because, you know, if you compare it to the VX1000, if you got it down to either the VX1000 or the VX2000, then there's definitely some pros and cons on each side. So I'm going to start by saying what's good and what's not so good about this camera. Alright, so let's start by saying what's good about the VX2000. If you're comparing it to the VX1, then you're going to find a lot more features since it is a newer camera, and it's a lot more durable because because it's newer, and it's going to be a lot easier to fix, say if it does break. And so yeah, it can take a little bit more abuse than the VX1000. And the next thing is, I'd say, well, it's quite obvious that the VX1000 doesn't have a flip screen and a little LCD like this one. And I mean, that is a pretty good improvement, because if you wanna see what you're filming, I don't know, if you don't want to use the viewfinder for whatever reason, then you do have this to guide you. I mean, I recommend just using, just closing the screen and using the viewfinder, or if you're filming lines, just to hold it like this. But it can be helpful in some cases, so that's one improvement. And what else? There's the battery life. So the battery lasts a lot longer. It's got a really strong battery. Once you charge it, it lasts like 275 minutes or something like that, I don't know, but it never dies on me, so the battery's pretty reliable. Alright, so another improvement with the VX2000 is low light filming. It's got great low light filming, so if you're filming out in the dark, or there's not a lot of light where you're filming, then this is where the VX2000 can be very handy. The image pretty much always looks good, even when there's not a lot of light. So that's a really good thing with this camera. You can really just adjust you can adjust the exposure, and if it really is too dark, and it'll still look good. And basically, that's really a really strong point of the VX2000. I'm just reading some of this stuff off the internet, but it is true. I mean, it is stuff that I personally have noticed about the camera. Yeah, the zoom is better. I mean, you can zoom in a little more with the VX2000. Not a big deal, but alright, now for where the VX2000 isn't quite as good as the VX1000. First of all, the VX1000 has the original Century Optics lens, the Mark I, that is designed to fit onto it. So if you wanted to get that lens to fit onto your VX2000, you'd have to mod it. And the difference between these lenses is basically that the MK1's a lot wider, and here I have a Mark II, so an MK2 lens, and it's a lot less wide. That's the main fault with this lens, but it is a good lens. It's just that the best lens, which is the MK1, is made to fit onto the VX1000. So yeah, that's the first thing. And a lot of people say that the daylight filming with the VX1000 looks a lot better. I don't know, the colors on this camera are still really amazing. So I mean, I wouldn't put too much thought into that. But Also, the VX1000 is lighter. It is easier to carry if you're filming lines. This camera is pretty heavy. When I film with it, sometimes it gives me a sore wrist, but it's not. I get used to it. So yeah. Some people say the sound is better on the VX1000. Personally, the sound is pretty good on this camera. I don't know, I wouldn't notice it, but that's just some people that say that. Alright, so overall, I'd say the VX2000 is a really good choice if you're looking for, you know, if you have the money to buy one of these prosumer cameras or any 3-chip camera. This is really a good choice, because I find that a lot of people have told me, even, you know, people that film with other 3-chip cameras, and they say the colors are really good with this camera. And you know, I film in some really shitty places with really crappy light, and somehow it still looks really sick when I film with it. You know, you just fiddle around with the colors and stuff, and you can make the image look really good pretty much no matter where you are. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it's not a cheap camera. The lens is pretty damn expensive too, but if you're looking to buy one of these cameras, then I'd say this is a really good choice and you should look into it.